Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here. We're here for another review Jive. It's WWE time again. Today was SummerSlam 2020. And this was also the first pay-per-view with the new, stadium
WWE
feature
ThunderDome,
thing.
where they have, virtual fans.
I want to talk about that before we get into the actual wrestling part of it. I feel like it definitely affected the quality of the stream. I noticed some tearing when the cameras were panning a little bit. Some of the backstage shots
kind of cut out for a second.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some technology limitations happening.
I feel like that was actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
As of late, the way WWE has been handling this has been pretty, not great. Right? The behind the plexiglass crew just hasn't been very...
Well, there's a couple of people that they have as, fans behind the plexiglass that have been really cool to watch.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's just not the same.
But it's also, when they cheer when they're supposed to cheer, and they boo when they're supposed to boo, and it's not the same as, the real fan experience.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like they were just starting to, get into their groove right as we transition into this ThunderDome thing. Yeah. So that's kind of, unfortunate.
That sucks for them, but at the same time, I'm glad that we're not getting fed the emotion from the fans on the take as the fans on the take as it were. So I really enjoyed this portion of it.
Those are called marks.
Well, these were pretend fans. They're fans.
Yeah, those are called marks.
They're not called marks.
All right, fine.
Yeah, a mark is the person who's gonna get it. That's the mark.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, definitely. Look at this girl knowing about how to run on marks and whatnot. Not even a whole Wahlberg over here. She's half a fucking Wahlberg over here. She's a Marky Mark Wahlberg. That's the worst Wahlberg.
No, it's not.
No, it's the worst Wahlberg.
That is...
Best Wahlberg, drug addict Jack Wahlberg. You have no clue what I'm talking about.
Which one is that one?
The drug addict Jack Wahlberg?
Yeah, which one is that one?
Pain and Gain, baby.
That's Mark Wahlberg.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's the best Mark Wahlberg.
You're not even making sense anymore.
Of different Mark Wahlbergs. That's the best Mark Wahlberg. Marky Mark, least Mark Wahlberg.
I thought you were talking about Donnie Wahlberg, and I was just what is wrong?
I don't even know who Donnie Wahlberg is.
He was in several of the Saw movies.
Yeah, no, didn't know about that. Yeah. So
as well as I'm pretty sure he was part of New Kids on the Block.
Hey, stop. Hello, don't eat Finn. Leave him alone.
Sorry, the dogs are having little makeouts. So, the first match was Bayley. Bayley Dose belt.
So we actually missed the kickoff.
We missed the kickoff.
Which was the United States Champion match, which was Apollo Crews versus MVP. I cannot stress enough how fucking little I care about this story that's been going on. Guys, leave each other alone. Crews defeated MVP via pinfall to retain the title. I don't care. So, what are you doing, Kasha? Okay. Kasha wanted to be part of something.
No, she got dead-legged.
She got dead-legged. Oh, Hella's just being Hella's being the crazy dog.
That's happened today.
Ugh, Hella, leave people alone. Lay down. Stop being a bitch.
She's a little murder girl. She just
don't be a bitch. Just lay down.
She just wants to murder things.
Finn, you don't. This doesn't involve you, Finn. This doesn't involve you. Anyway, so Crews defeated MVP. I don't care. We didn't watch that one. So the first one was the SmackDown Women's Champ, which was Bayley Asuka.
Yeah. So Bayley Dose belts versus Asuka, and this was a pretty. This is the match.
Okay match.
We've seen this match 5 times, guys. I don't care.
Yeah,
Bayley won via Sasha's interference. Again, because Bayley and Sasha just can't win a match without interference or with cheating.
It's the worst.
So that was disappointing, but Asuka has the match with Bayley with Sasha later on. So after that, there was a promo from Dominic. It's time for me to be a man, Mysterio.
Oh yeah, there was the Dominic Mysterio promo,
and
which was whatever.
And I didn't really care about the promo, but Ray was in it, and Dom's mom, Ray's wife, Angie, Mysterio, I guess you would say, was.
I don't think that's how that works.
I'm
pretty certain Rey Mysterio's last name isn't Mysterio.
As far as I care, it is. And she was there, so it was, it was a pretty mediocre match. I haven't really been excited about any of that stuff.
Well, that was just the...
So, yeah, that was just the promo.
That was just the promo. That wasn't the match yet.
It was a pretty lukewarm promo. And then after that, we had the match with Andrade and Garza with Zelina Vega, and I totally thought she was gonna get in there and wrestle.
Yeah, versus the Street Profits.
Versus the Street Profits for the title.
Yeah.
And Street Profits won.
Yeah.
It was a great match. This was a really, really good match. So first of all, Kevin Owens came out wearing a Street Profits shirt, which is bright red, and he had a red tie on.
Kevin Owens is slowly becoming the best.
Kevin Owens is really great, and he's really good at the announce. So I would really like to see him do like an announcer thing when they rotate through announcers again. I think KO would be really good at it.
He would be good. He would be good. He's also super sassy.
Yeah, he is.
So the Andrade match was really good. I love the Street Profits dearly. They're fantastic. The best.
They're so
and this
fantastic.
Story, you know what? I wasn't in the beginning. I was like, this is dumb, right?
Yeah.
And then this whole poisoning thing happened, and I was like,
I don't know. Maybe I'm okay
maybe that's
with
dumb.
it.
Maybe it's not. And then the whole Zelina Vega was the one that poisoned him, and then he came back with like a vengeance. It was a really good storyline.
It's been a good story.
This was a surprisingly good match. Like this was top notch, man.
Well, I don't know about surprisingly, because on their own, Street Profits are top notch.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Garza, Andrade, Zelina Vega are also top notch.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
They're so good at being tag teams.
Yeah.
And there was a long time where you
really
didn't really have people that were good at being tag teams.
Yeah.
And you just had people that were thrown together. Bailey, Sasha, and like that's fine when people are thrown together, except for the most part that means that they don't really have time to build a rapport and have that chemistry and to really understand the level of teamwork that it has to
You're not just two wrestlers touching hands for the next one to wrestle. Like there needs to be that like the team the team physicality, where they're doing moves together, or one of them's doing something because he knows that he's about ready to do this other thing or something. And these are both really good tag teams. And this was a really, really fun match. There were definitely times you didn't know where it was going.
Every time Street Profits is out there, I know we're in for a treat. And in this one, I knew we were in for a really good match when they had solo cups rain down at the beginning. Because that was hilarious. And it wasn't just regular size solo cups. It was the little tiny shot glass size solo cups
too. Big ones. It was great. It was
so good.
I want solo cups to rain at a party. Like, how dope would that be?
Yeah, right? Instead of like a balloon
fuck balloons.
drop, you do like a solo cup drop. Like, maybe everybody should wear hats to protect themselves.
Right.
Or something like that.
But that was really good.
So Street Profits won as I had expected they were going to. It was a fantastic match.
Of course, yeah.
And then after that, we had Kayla interviewing Bayley and Sasha. And the whole time during the interview, we're like, why does Bayley have a broom?
Yeah.
We know what joke she's going to do.
We know that she's going to do a
Where is it gonna happen?
But like, what the
heck?
She
did the sweeping joke at the very end.
Man. All right. I know she's supposed to be like heel-esque right now.
Yeah.
But she is.
Well, she's basically supposed to be Lady Evil Hulk Hogan.
Yes, that's totally correct. But
or Lady Evil John Cena, like.
Yeah. That's you know what? That might actually explain it, because she's as bad as both of them were at being bad. Because she's so bad at it.
Yeah.
Like she's like threatening the mic, and you're like, it doesn't even look scary. What are you doing, man?
At least they finally figured out her eye makeup. I'm pretty into the eye makeup.
That's fair.
They finally figured it out, and I'm pretty into it.
Yeah, it's and like you can slowly see this unhealthy relationship that is Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah.
And it's not, I imagine in real life they're actually probably like best friends. But like clearly the storyline is that they're slowly becoming like jaded or whatever the hell. As they do.
You can see the rifts, cracks starting to appear.
But it's really good, actually.
Yeah.
I like that part. I'm not really into them as a tag team, and this whole like Sasha 2 belts, Becky 2 belts, it's so stupid. It's dumb. Frankly, I think that it belittles the women's titles.
Yeah, well as the women's tag team titles.
As well as the women's tag team titles.
I feel like
there
we
are
haven't
so
been
many
seeing those
higher skill.
Well, we haven't been seeing those being defended like at all. I mean, given what women's tag teams do we have out there right now besides Bayley and Sasha?
None.
Well,
we had Asuka and
Kyrie. Kyrie's out.
But Kyrie's
and we
injured.
had Mandy and Sonia, but they no longer a tag team.
And we had
we have the Iconics.
Iconics. Well, yeah, but they're not.
But they're mostly on
mainstream like that.
Well, they're mostly on a different show.
Yeah, they're on a different show. They're not on the same show for that.
Yeah.
You know?
So we don't really have a lot of women's tag teams, which is kind of too bad because there was a point where
women's
tag
matches.
Teams were
you know, I feel like they're doing this because they're just like, we don't really have enough female wrestlers right now to do this with, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
They do, and they have like really good female wrestlers out there right now that aren't being properly utilized. And hopefully this is just because these women wrestlers who haven't been shown are just like, listen, I'm gonna stay home or like whatever, and it's not like them not being like them being pushed to the sideline. I definitely feel like
they're putting too much on this Bayley, Sasha, Asuka angle, and they're really letting a lot of the other female wrestling talent go to waste.
Female wrestling
and it's super sad because a couple of months ago that was not the case. It was like all of the really good storylines were female wrestlers, and now like even good storylines with female wrestlers are just kind of like languishing by the wayside, more or less.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a whole lot happening, even though there are some pretty good and interesting stories. Yeah. So after that, we had commercials. And there were commercials in a whole bunch of things, but I wrote this down specifically. WWE ice cream sandwiches?
Yeah, that was a fucking weird commercial. There were two weird commercials during this pay-per-view. The WWE ice cream sandwiches one, which is, I think they were like Blue Bunny brand ice cream sandies. And it's
they
like
call them like cookies or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think
it's like a pale cracker with like clearly just like a darkened imprint, like late
of like a particular superstar. And it looks like perhaps it's Macho Man.
It's Macho Man Randy Savage. No, it's not. No, it's Hulk Hogan.
Well, Hulk Hogan.
Right.
There was Macho Man.
Oh, was there Macho? Yeah. Okay, John Cena.
The
Man.
And Becky.
And Becky, and there was a fifth one.
Maybe Seth Rollins or something like that. John Cena? No, we already said John Cena.
No, maybe it was Seth Rollins. There was a fifth one.
We're going to have to look for these.
Oh, if we buy them, we will totally review them. 100%. So that was ridiculous. And then the other ridiculous commercial, since we're talking about commercials, was a Subaru commercial that started off with Subaru being like, California has a bunch of fires. Look at this photographer.
Oh, man.
Subaru's bringing him in.
Drives a Subaru.
And Julie and I were just like evac because of the fucking fires, right?
Yeah,
like technically our house is still under threat.
Yeah, we've been under wildfire evacuation warning for
4 days, 5 days.
5 days now, and the fire has been going on for about 7 days, and the fire is 15 miles tops from our house. Yeah. So it is. We are safe.
Yeah, like we're fine.
We are ready to go if something needs to happen.
But we're in the thick of this.
Way too close for comfort for us.
And Subaru just being like, California fires, we get them in and we get them out, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, these motherfuckers are treading on thin ice right now with this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, way to take advantage of like some actually fucked up shit that's currently happening.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're like, as part of our mission to help the environment, we're planting like 5 million trees in the devastated California wilderness, and we're like, okay,
that's good, but
that's
at the
not
same
so
time,
bad.
like
you're be careful with that shit, dog.
Profiting
so that was a weird. I feel like for people outside of California, they were just like, oh, good for Subaru. But for people in California, and especially like in the greater Sonoma County area, or like Napa County, or any of these other counties Santa Cruz County, that are being affected by these larger fires, it's like, dude, that's not super cool.
Yeah, that's definitely a too soon moment.
Yeah.
It was a too soon moment.
Come on, Subaru, do better next time, man.
So after we learned about these WWE ice cream sandwiches, which we're totally going to look for once all the evacuations and stuff are done,
yeah, we're kind of,
we're not really able to go to any grocery store nearby because of where we are and where they're located and how rural area we live in. After that was the match that was Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose, and the loser leaves WWE.
Is kicked out of WWE.
This match was kind of a weird match.
It was.
So it was originally supposed to be a hair match, so whoever loses gets their head shaved. And then kind of at the last minute, they upgraded this to being loser leaves WWE.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly why. The WWE hasn't said why. The superstars haven't said why.
Yeah.
But recently, Sonya Deville was at her home with Mandy Rose. They are friends in real life. They're good friends in real life. Yeah. And a man tried breaking into the home to kidnap Sonya Deville. Super scary stuff. This guy was arrested, but he had like basically all the stuff in his van that he would have needed to have to kidnap. In fact, from what I understand, the Sonya and Mandy had to like basically flee the house together because they were so scared and under threat. So the guy's already been arrested. It looks like Sonya's probably going to be wrapped up in trial stuff, but at the same time, like something like that is super traumatic, and she probably, and rightly so, wants to kind of pull back a little bit.
Yeah, take a little bit of a break.
Which is horrifying.
Yeah, and totally understandable from her point if that's the reason why she's leaving. I mean, and this is the thing, man. I really like her as a wrestler.
I do too.
Right, and
she is
they've really started dialing in
really
her
started
like
figuring
outfit
it out.
And like her persona. This persona where she's just this like crazy, just like powerhouse wrestler, and everything she's doing is like big strong moves and stuff like that. She's so fucking good. Honestly, I hope that she's just like taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
and she's gonna come back and just like bring the thunder, because she's really. I mean, for me, I think she has potential to really get up there.
Oh yeah,
in the female wrestling ranks.
I think that she
so
would be
good.
just as good,
and they're both good, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Absolutely. Sonya, I think, is gonna be the next Becky. That's
easy,
really what I'm thinking.
Easy money. She's super strong and she's super good.
So Mandy won this match.
Yeah.
And there was some things about this match were super weird. It was clear to me that Mandy was like not on her game during this match.
Yeah.
We learned a few things during this match. One of those is that Mandy does apparently not know how tables work.
Yeah,
she had a really hard time setting up the table.
Could not set
picking
up
the table, moving the table. I was like, honey.
Clearly, it
no.
took so much time for her to set this table up that they had to skip past the thing where somebody used that table.
Yeah.
Because guess what? That table was never used, and Chekhov's table.
Yeah, there is a point where she's
bullshit.
like sort of frisbeeing chairs across the table.
Oh my god, she almost hit a camera guy like
twice.
Almost hit a camera I hope that camera guy's okay, and he wasn't taking him to the knees like a man. It was real
crazy.
You know?
And then at the end, Mandy wins. Sonya's upset, and she's like going around the arena being upset and stuff. And then Otis comes out to celebrate with Mandy, which is cool because we haven't really seen much with the Otis-Mandy angle. So as sad as I am that Sonya is gonna be off TV for a while, and trust me, I am sad about this.
Yeah,
I've been really digging her.
I really do like her.
I'm excited to see, and I'm hopeful to see that they're gonna do more with the Otis Mandy storyline, because I feel like that's been really dead in the water lately.
Yeah.
For basically no reason at all.
It was a good storyline. Otis is a fucking just a great wrestler.
Yeah.
Mandy's really good wrestler. Like and they're both great on the mic. They're both great in the video segments and in the acting.
They're silly,
of it.
and you've got fun. It's a really fun kind of story that they're doing
announcers
with
could
them.
lay off Otis fat jokes.
Yeah.
It's like weirdly 90s. They pick on him like middle school bully fat joke. They're just like you better get back and grab something from the from the food table because Otis is on his way backstage.
Yeah.
And you're just like, where the fuck is this coming from?
Why are you doing this?
There's a bunch of big motherfuckers here. You're making fun of this one fat guy?
Yeah, you're making fun of the one guy?
Dude?
Yeah.
It's so weird. I feel like they just don't know what to do with Otis because he's so lovable and personable and such a good wrestler, but like like they have nothing to make fun of him about, right?
Yeah,
so they have to like lowest common denominator.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just like let's just do fat jokes.
So Otis came out to celebrate, and Otis is the winner of Money in the Bank. He hasn't cashed that in yet. But he comes out with the Money in the Bank briefcase and like shoves it in the ring and does like a victory caterpillar in the ring.
Because he does the caterpillar all the time.
Yeah.
It's the best.
So Mandy decides to do the caterpillar, but we learn that she
second thing we learned
does not know how to do the caterpillar.
She can't do tables and she can't do caterpillars.
Oh, Mandy. Oh, honey.
Yeah, it was rough.
I wanted to hug both Mandy and Sonya so bad after these matches because of...
This was a really good match. To me, this was really good match. One of the matches of the night.
Yeah. You
know?
And then after that, we had Rollins with Buddy Murphy versus Dominic with Rey Mysterio. And let me tell you, this was the match of the night for me. This was my favorite match.
It was a really good match.
Rollins' outfit was very Batman Forever Riddler. Once I saw it, I loved the pink,
but what the fuck is with the question marks?
Why are there like incomplete question marks? Why is there a pink Riddler outfit?
I thought he was the Monday Night Messiah,
is Seth Rollins wearing it?
Am I confused?
He is, and it says it on the side of the leg.
This is the thing. What does the Messiah have to do with a question mark?
And here's the other thing about it is
the joke.
So Rollins' outfit is very Batman Forever Riddler.
Oh, totally.
But Dominic Mysterio's outfit is very like Nightwing. It looks very much like the Nightwing style outfits that they were having Ricochet wear.
Yeah, it was very Luchador Nightwing.
It was very
badass,
like good versus evil. I really liked the hood, and actually, what I would like to see for Dominic's outfit is to have him with the hood on most of the time.
Yeah, maybe if the hood had some sort of like a hood goggle, so it's not like a full mask, but something that's
like straps and stuff
that's
that
like
they could use.
Luchador-esque.
Yeah.
Right? So if they push Dominic like Luchador adjacent, where he like respects the tradition, but is like, doing something a little bit more modern. Yeah. I think that would be interesting. He's a pretty good wrestler. I mean, he's young still.
He looks like he's 15.
Seriously. it looks like what we watched was a grown-ass man dressed up like the Riddler for a fucking convention.
Beating up like a high schooler.
Beat the shit out of a high schooler, which is frankly a little fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Whatever. Right? The storyline, this whole Monday Night Messiah Mysterio family story.
I care not been
0%
to
about
this storyline at all.
It's so dumb. The eyeball match was fucking stupid.
But this match was really good.
This was a good match.
This was really good.
It was a really good match.
There was a lot of tension in it. They built up a lot of things. Dominic is obviously been training very hard to do what it is that he's doing. And I would say he's doing a great job at it. Yeah. Rollins was a bit lazy, but he was more into it than he normally is, so that was really cool. And this was super brutal. This was
a couple of things where Rollins... He phoned it. He just...
like when he got thrown into the stairs and he didn't take out the stairs because he didn't want the hit. That was rough.
That was rough.
But they had like 6 kendo sticks out during the match.
They're just busting kendo sticks all over the damn place.
Everywhere.
All over
the kendo stick stuff was super brutal. This was a Street Fight rules match, so...
no disqualifications, nothing like that. Yeah, I know. We'll be...
Give us a minute.
We'll be back in 5.
Okay, we're back.
Hey, we're probably back. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. So
anywho, that was a great fucking match.
Yeah, that was a great match, and Rollins won, but I actually wasn't really happy with how Rollins won. It felt very anticlimactic.
It did.
It could have been.
It did.
It could have been a better ending for what was a really great match.
I don't want Rollins to win anymore. This is the thing, man.
I also don't want him to win
I fucking
anymore.
don't care about Rollins at all, and this whole beef is dumb, and frankly, it's like. It feels a little attacking Luchador as a culture-y because he's the only one. And Rollins is like beef is like weird.
He's not the only one.
He's like the only one right now.
I feel like they have.
Do they? I've been trying to think of one since that match.
Team, but they've been kind of like pushed down lately. Oh, they also have the one that looks like the Power Ranger. He's pretty lucha.
Oh yeah. I forget about him all the time.
Yeah.
But like, still, it was just I don't know. It's a dumb beef, but it was a good match, and frankly, I'm glad to see that Mysterio's kid is like bringing the Thunder. Yeah. I look forward to him sort of
finding his place,
finding his spot, and his rhythm.
Persona, getting out of his dad's shadow.
He should grow a beard. He looks like a 12-year-old.
He should grow a beard.
Grow like a little mustache or some shit, dude. I don't know.
A cute little mustache.
Yeah, like a little mustache.
And then after that, we had Sasha 2 belts. What is it?
Sasha Dos belts?
No, because it's Becky Dos belts. I don't know. We had Sasha 2 belts.
Sasha some amount of belts.
With Bayley versus Asuka. And this is also the same match we've seen like 5 times. I'm so tired of seeing this match.
Yeah. But Asuka won.
Asuka won. So she is now the SmackDown Women's Champion. And actually the way that she won is... Yeah, again.
Yeah.
So actually the way that she won is a little interesting because in the first match with Asuka versus... Bayley. I was like, who?
Yeah. There was like a very specific moment
where Sasha took the hit from Asuka, which then allowed Bayley to win.
Yeah.
So there was some interference there. And they set it up so that the end of this match of Asuka versus Sasha, the same thing would have happened, but with Bayley taking the hit, Bayley did not take the hit.
Yeah, Bayley like got out of the way of the hit and allowed Asuka to like recover faster and then turn it around on Sasha and it put Sasha out. And it was pretty great. There was a scene, like great cinematography comedy wise, and it's like the ref down with Sasha and Sasha's talking and Asuka's in the background just like having a great time.
Asuka's so happy in the background, and then you just see Sasha like
just devastated and confused in the foreground and in focus. Yeah. It was really funny.
It was a really nice cinematography.
So again, this opened up a very large crack in their already fairly toxic relationship. Again. Who fucking knows where this is going to go with anything? What's going to happen?
I don't. Maybe Sasha will challenge Bayley for her title because she's the reason why she lost her title. We don't know. Honestly, I don't want to see that match either. I'm really done with seeing what they're doing because it's the same thing.
They need to wrap that all the fuck up and go somewhere else with it.
And then after that, we had Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre won. And he retained his title.
That was actually a pretty good match. So neither of the two of them got off their special move. So Drew McIntyre has the Claymore.
That spot at the end was real nice.
So that the very end of the fight, it was a good fight overall. It was very like powerhousey. I feel like Drew McIntyre dominated most of the match, and I feel like they tried to give Randy Orton some stuff in the middle, but Randy Orton is just the worst.
Yeah.
He's the worst. Randy Orton's whole thing is just like, I'm the fucking greatest that ever lived, right? And Drew McIntyre said it best. His thing is just like, listen, man, you had everything served to you on a silver platter. Drew McIntyre was just dreaming about golden dreams in the fucking hills of Scotland. Like, you don't even fucking know struggle. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Right?
Third generation superstar.
Exactly.
Obviously, you got a silver spoon.
And I feel like I feel like Drew McIntyre's on the head with this one. Randy Orton wrestles like somebody who's aware of the fact that like every move he makes is gonna land, so he doesn't have to try that fucking hard. And this is the thing, it could totally just be an act, and Randy Orton could be like the fucking nicest guy in the world, and he's just that good of an actor. I don't really care either which direction. The characterization right now is a grown man beating up a bunch of old dudes. It's fucking nuts.
Except for Drew McIntyre.
McIntyre, who beats his ass. Like, it's such a dumb fucking storyline.
It is a little bit like the bully getting what's coming to him, only I just didn't really care. I really wish that at this point Randy would just retire, and I'm kind of hoping that they're kind of giving him like one last title shot before he retires.
Yeah, I hope.
But that's probably not going to happen.
Or, the thing is that maybe if he went through like a character change or something, which he won't.
No, Randy Orton has been literally the same character.
The same character, I know.
His entire life.
It's so awful, and Drew McIntyre is such a fucking
and even when
wrestler.
He's a good guy, he's the same guy.
He's the worst.
Yeah,
but it was pretty good. So the end of the match was Drew McIntyre went in for a Claymore kick. Randy Orton dropped to the ground, and so Drew McIntyre just fucking sailed over him and 8 ring. and then Orton, like as McIntyre's getting up, Orton goes to put him in an RKO out of nowhere. That was out of 100% where you thought it was coming out of. So McIntyre just reversed the shit out of that stuff, put him in a fucking pin, and pinned him up. So it was great that neither of them got to get their special off, and it was great that the end included both of them failing at getting their special off.
Yeah.
It really felt like they were like studying their enemy, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So it was an okay match. I mean, again, put McIntyre against better wrestlers. McIntyre is above this.
It was a pretty mediocre match.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got another set of commercials, and in it looks like perhaps they're bringing Keith Lee from NXT up into Raw.
Which is, I fucking love him so damn much,
Keith Lee is a phenomenal wrestler.
He's physical.
He's right. Like, I normally am not into big guys wrestling big guys because it's a very specific type of wrestling match.
Generally, it's like a bit slower.
And they get a bit boring. They're kind of slower.
Yeah.
But Keith Lee is like a big guy, but he's very agile and he is very fast.
And
but
he's strong, and he just manhandles people.
Yeah.
It's the best. Keith Lee has this style of wrestling where he's getting in moves and he's doing all that kind of stuff. He's also not afraid to be up in the air a little bit about stuff.
Yeah.
But also when he's getting his fucking heat on or whatever, right? He just throws people across shit.
Yeah.
And it's great. It really promotes his physicality.
Well, he also has a bit more endurance than a lot of other big guys
That's
in a
true.
match.
That's super
because those
true.
are usually slow moving but also short matches with power moves.
Yeah.
And Keith Lee has shown that he really has a lot of flexibility and agility in the way that he wrestles, much like when you watch Big E wrestle. Because he's also a big guy.
He's very Big E-esque.
So it's very cool. I'm super excited. I hope that he stays and it's not just a one-time thing or even a weird cameo like they keep doing with Bianca Belair. For whatever reason. She's good enough to be on Raw.
Yeah, just put her on Raw. She's so good.
And then after that, we had the last match of the night, which I was thinking we were going to have another cinematic match.
No cinematic
match this time. We had Braun, who's a champion, the SmackDown champion, versus Bray Wyatt for part of their feud there.
Swamp
People feud. And this is a really great idea for a feud, and I really want to be behind this because I love Bray Wyatt and I love Braun Strowman and I also love Alexa Bliss, who's a little bit in this.
Somehow in this. Somebody explain below how she's in this.
We know how she's in it. They recap it.
I know.
Literally
but
every time.
That's not enough information.
Most of the pay-per-view is recaps.
But why is she in it?
It's not the why. It's really what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
Because they just put her there as hey, she's here, and then they didn't end up developing anything with that character, which is super disappointing. And I feel like that's actually kind of the story of this feud, where this feud could be easily
it could be the biggest thing right now.
Top notch.
Yeah, it could be the
biggest thing. This could be this is watching John Cena and Hulk Hogan. This is watching The Rock versus Stone Cold. These could be the big marquee matches. And
instead, they're pushing whatever the fuck's going on with Seth Rollins, which is lame.
It's pretty mediocre with what it is that they're doing. Not the wrestlers, but the writing behind this feud is really just kind of whatever. And I feel like they could be doing so much more if they only sharpened a little bit of an edge to it. But it seems like they're unwilling to, and Bray Wyatt has proved time and time again that he is a fantastic wrestler, he is fantastic on the mic, and he has fantastic ideas for how this stuff should be written.
Yeah.
He is the reason why The Fiend as a character exists. Yeah. He's the reason why the Funhouse thing exists, the Swamp thing exists, his previous persona exists.
And Braun Strowman is good on the mic, and Braun Strowman's a good wrestler. Yeah. And I feel like the two of them could easily, by their powers combined, work a really great promo and a really great feud that could easily bubble into other aspects of the WWE universe. As well as it could
also be a feud that turns them into a team again.
It could result in
this Braun and Bray as Wicked Swamp people. They could draw Alexa Bliss in. It seems like they're not going to do much more with her and Nikki Cross, which is super sad because I really love that.
They were such a great team.
I want to see so much more sophistication in the writing.
As opposed to just like, these two big guys used to be friends or whatever the fuck. Fuck them, let them fight.
Yeah, like
it feels
so
like
much
the writers don't care, and they're just like, we got two big guys, they gotta fight every time, put them over there.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, it feels as cheap as the whole MVP,
MVP
Apollo Crews bullshit, right?
Feud.
Where it's just like, he's got these guys and this guy didn't join his whatever the fuck powwow of people, so they're enemies now, and you're like, whatever, and then it keeps happening, and you're like,
you're just like, I would
assume people were over that by now, but fucking okay.
Yeah.
Like, a lot, honestly, I feel like a lot of these feuds and a lot of this writing, especially lately, has been like super lowest common denominator and just not great. That being said, this was a pretty good pay-per-view.
Yeah, so at the very end, Wyatt wins, which I'm happy about. I think he's fantastic. I want to see him with the title. And Roman Reigns comes out to beat him up. It looks like he's back. Not really sure how long or in what capacity, whether he's back by choice or whether he's back by force, because he's been off of TV because he does have obviously pre-existing conditions, leukemia, and has not been wrestling because he's been concerned about coronavirus.
Yeah.
So I want to be excited that Roman is back, but I feel like this is just going to be like a flash in the pan kind of quick thing, or it's going to be long term and Bray is immediately going to lose his title to Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is back. And I am not looking forward to the latter of those two.
Yeah. Don't just make Roman Reigns the big guy because Roman Reigns used to be the big guy. Like, make him have to earn it back. And make him part of this story and make this story part of the fucking thing. Like the WWE has some fucking phenomenal wrestlers and they have some great stuff, but it's the execution is not there. And even this pay-per-view is a solid example of some of these feud fights were fucking boring and then some of these were really good. Yeah. And it's like, where's the dichotomy here? How are you getting this just like these amazing fights about stories I don't care? And then these just like shit fights. Yeah. All in the same pay-per-view. It was...
Well, and I think that there's been some significant changes behind the scenes with the writing. Obviously, we saw Eric Bischoff on AEW recently. Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Which was wild. Yeah. Guys, I lost my mind when that happened.
You want good writing right now, AEW.
AEW has got it. But... So obviously Bischoff is no longer writing for WWE, but so that leaves, a hole there. But I think, and I don't know the circumstances behind him leaving, but I think Bischoff leaving definitely indicates a lot of the more edgier storylines kind of going, to kind of like sit and just not do anything. Yeah. So I think that much like many situations with sort of boring storylines, it's coming from the top, it's coming from Vince, this is what he wants, and the writers are being, really conservative with what they're writing, and they're writing for Vince and they're not writing for the fans. Yeah. And that's something that Bischoff has always had an issue with, so I think that's one of the reasons perhaps why he's gone. Yeah.
And if it means AEW succeeds more and WWE suffers because of it and has to find a better path, then that's the way that it has to be, man. You know what? I feel like if we've learned anything in the wrestling like fandom, like in 2020, it's that clearly doing fun shit for the fans is the success path. Yeah. Right? AEW is doing some awesome stuff, and like even the really weird, lame shit ends up being super, super fun. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas like we just watched a pay-per-view and there were great matches in it, but there were also times in it where we're just like, I don't want to fucking watch this.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually wandered off and was cooking during the Drew McIntyre Randy Orton
match. Which is totally fair.
So I only saw the very end, but I could hear the announcers. I mean,
it's like the late Monday. It's the past 10 o'clock Monday Night Raw thing with fucking Shane. Like, it's so lame. Yeah. Who cares?
I don't care about this Raw Underground. If I wanted to watch people just fighting, I would watch just fighting.
But it's a good idea. They could do something with it, but the way that it's being executed, this is the problem, is that there are great ideas, but the execution is clearly not there.
Yeah. Well, and the problem with it is I like they're putting the Raw Underground stuff mishmashed in between
so
actual segments on Raw. So you can't just switch channels on Raw,
I would do.
Which is what we would do, but at the same time, we want to see some of these matches that are in the last hour, so it's kind of problematic.
Yeah,
but we watched AEW on Saturday, which was not a pay-per-view. That's just their rescheduled, regularly weekly AEW Dynamite. Yeah. That was moved to Saturday because of the basketball playoffs. And I think that AEW definitely did a better job than the WWE
was better than this pay-per-view.
SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Yes,
and I really want to see more from AEW like that. I would really like to see WWE rise to the occasion and not be so lazy. So I'm really looking forward to the continuation of this AEW sort of Wednesday Night War thing with NXT, because even though AEW was not on Wednesday night, and that meant we could have watched NXT.
We did not watch NXT.
We did not watch NXT.
No. No, NXT has not been great.
NXT has not been great.
Yeah.
So overall, SummerSlam was better than the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I felt like about half of the matches were good matches and were compelling matches.
Yep.
But I felt like about half of them were kind of stale and overdone, and that's honestly kind of par for the course for WWE content.
Yeah.
And then next week we've got Payback, so in 2 weeks the WWE will have done 3 pay-per-view slots, one of them being NXT that was Saturday,
which we didn't watch either. Yeah.
So we'll be back for that.
Yeah.
But
so we'll
did you watch this? Tell us what you think. Yeah. What are your thoughts on some of these things? Who's your favorite wrestler from this? Where do you think some storylines would go? Let's talk wrestling, guys. Yeah. We're stuck in our house and we need some wrestling talk.
Yeah, we need more wrestling. So like this video, comment below, tell us all that stuff, share this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, do all that kind of crap. I've been John Norgrove. This has been Wife. This was SummerSlam. This is Review Jive. We're specifically talking about like wrestling and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll catch you guys literally next week for the next pay-per-view. Yeah. Let's hope it's better.
Yeah.
See ya.